perspective, who should take primary responsibility when it comes to implementing?
The enforcement agencies, because now we are talking of money. When I open up my bar, every bottle I sell is money. And Ugandans, we know how we love money. So it is very hard for us to regulate ourselves as people in this business. We can't regulate ourselves. Sometimes I get upset with these technicalities. It should be parliament. You know, we have corruption in this country.
The bureaucracy.
The bureaucracy. My producer, Ruben Mpima, calls it Oruzungu-zungu. You know, in everything you put...
Corporate language.
you find ways now here. Let's hold the bull by its horns.
Right.
And say, you know what? Is this thing good? Does it have good intentions? That is enough, implement. Parliament follow after.
Right.
But the more we dilly-dally, now when you arrest a person, then they have to be taken to this, they have to be taken to this, then they have to get bond bail this, then they are out. We are going to see that Okeros never receive a sentence. At getting on off the hook. Right. So, and this set wrong precedents. So I believe all Ugandans should support Honorable Barambara Gahare. Parliament, if it is a need for Parliament to approve this, let one member of Parliament bring a private member's bill, like Saro Pendi had done. Let's support this cause.
And one of the things I learned, at least during the time I studied the bits of law within my course, was the fact that there's an exception to every rule. So Honorable Barambara Gahare's directive could be an exception to the flow, the flow of what the law has to do, what Parliament and government councils have to do. Perhaps it could be the exception to the rule, because it's, if you could say, it's an emergency that needs action and not bureaucratic tendencies of the law, policies, and waiting for who might not be in their office, who might even not turn up. But what is your view on the local government's, local government minister's directive on banning bars from opening before 3 p.m. on working days? Share your opinion to 0709 602 592. That is to WhatsApp, and also to our ex-handle at UBC TV Uganda. And the hashtag is UBCGMU. Now, Robert, let me first look at the existing laws, and you could also chew in on this. On August 13th, 2024, Parliament rejected Opendi's bill, that is the Alcohol Control Bill 2023, and it sought to amend the industrial licensing to repeal the portable spirits and, of course, for the related matters therein. So the thing is, the current laws do not regulate time of sale of alcohol, but the former Attorney General Chiriowa Chiwanuka said in 2024 that this could be managed by licensing. Would you agree with him that perhaps no current laws obviously regulate time, but perhaps that also provide the service of alcohol?
That's why I said we should amend that alcohol should only be sold in licensed bars. There you can enforce. And any person found with alcohol, when it's not a bar, should dance to the tune of the laws. Because you don't open a retail shop and then we know it's a retail shop, then in a few minutes you begin sneaking in cartons. Cartons, crates. They begin with cartons. Then crates, dozens of crates, and later on in evening hours. First, you're cheating government of tax because the license indicates something else. It is a retail shop. Now, for you, you're having both. Two, you're cheating others that are genuinely getting licenses to operate bars.
Yeah.
So that is the complex people in this business, and you can't take them on in this business. So I believe those are some of the challenges we must address. Ensuring that they are typically bars and not shops acting as bars. That is one. But also, local councils you've just elected LOCs, 1s and 2s. Now you should take the lead in here. Take the lead, enforce this directive to the latter, and ensure bars don't open before 3 p.m. And people go and work, people go and rest, and we save a generation. We reduce on criminality. I'm very sure if this directive is highly implemented, the levels of our annual crime report is going to show deduction in crime. Deduction in crime, I'm very sure. Because having these bars opened has highly promoted crime. Some people leave bars and go and commit offenses. It is a harboring center with passing time there as they are finding out who is not home. People today are stolen during the day. One is at Mama Naka's car shop on a bench taking booze of 1,000 with 70% alcoholic volume. So there are some of the challenges I believe this will greatly address.
Right. Thank you very much, Robert. Now, on that note, let's also look at ranking of countries by alcohol consumption according to data from the year 2025. As you can see, we'll start with Uganda, which ranks number 5. It's one of the top 5 countries in the world. But of course, number 1 is Romania with liters, consuming 17 liters per capita. And Georgia in there is consuming 14.3 liters. Looking at the natural population growth, Romania is at a negative of 73,496, and Georgia is at 1,312. Now, after Georgia is Czechia, which is at 13.3 liters, and Latvia there is at 13.1. Then Uganda comes through at 12.2. Uganda is one of the top 5 countries in the world as of 2025 in alcohol consumption. And indeed, this is also confirmed by the World Health Organization. But countries there on after Germany follows Uganda, and Austria comes next after Germany, Seychelles, Bulgaria, Lithuania, they're in 10 top countries, and Uganda tops 5th. Robert, I don't know what you think about those statistics and what it means for Uganda, but I think it's sad that we are still here. Although it also one time I read a post on X that stated this means that Uganda is one of the happiest countries in East Africa. Now, I don't know if happy and alcohol should be put in the same sentence, but I don't know what you make of those statistics, Robert.
Well, first, they are very unfortunate. Those are not good statistics.
Right.
That we do consume a lot of alcohol, because alcohol comes with laziness. Alcohol comes with less development,
right,
less innovation. And the issue of happiness, we have not banned consumption of alcohol in Uganda. We are regulating drinking time and drinking age, which has nothing to do with your happiness. You can still be happy. After all, nightlife has not been banned, because you are saying from 3 p.m., go to the bar, drink yourself silly, drink yourself the way you want, but once it is morning time, or probably 7 a.m., go rest, go work. Go rest, go work. But this issue of leaving the bar at midnight, at 2 p.m., at 2 a.m., then you're back at 7, you're back at 8, working hours. Your people are going to work, they are seeing you staggering, rejoicing and happy. No, that must come to an end, and it's a directive that Honorable Barambargahara gave. We hope we support it at all costs.
Indeed. Now, let me engage some of your WhatsApp comments that are coming through. Some are still loading here, but let me quickly get some of them from here. To Shabomwe, James says that the directive is good, but it's very hard to implement. Thank you, James, for coming through. And Owen Raymond, who is in Mbale, says, good morning, UBC. In Eastern region, especially in Mbale region, we are in Mbalu season. Malwa is the order of the day. It's the time. How is it going to be handled? How is that directive going to be handled? Thank you so much, Raymond from Mbale, for getting in touch. Now, let me just get into some of them from here. And, okay. they are going to use backyard and drink behind bars. This is a mayor, and he says, what is the readiness of implementation by workers at that? Thank you so much for getting in touch. And good morning. Thank you for the program. This will reduce some alcohol-related problems, but some of those who are addicted people might stock it at home. Yeah, this is Sakor Rashid Busana in Kayunga district. Very interesting perspective. That one.
Alcohol is not sweet at home. It is where you're discussing issues of national importance.
It's like watching football alone in your living room. Eh? Interesting. Now, let's look at another comment. This one, good morning, Julie and Brother Robert. I concur with restrictions, and the restrictions need follow-up. This is Teacher Osire John Francis from Chari Wajala. Thank you, Teacher Osire, for always being on the show. And if bars are to open at 3 p.m., what about ceremonies which start in the morning until another morning? Interesting at that. And someone else comes through and says, restricting bar hours to after 3 p.m. may reduce daytime drinking, but excessive night drinking will still affect productivity the next day. This is Humphrey Machingi. Yeah, speaking of hangovers.
At least we will have started.
How will one operate indeed if they are suffering a hangover? Eminem, watching from Entebbe. Interesting name you have there. And he says, I support the minister. The bars should be given more limitation. Thank you, Eminem, for watching the show. Good morning, Uganda. This must be Vincent, Odaro Vincent. And he says these directives are very okay, most especially on bars, operating time if well implemented. And good morning, Uganda. Whatever Honorable Balaam is doing sounds to be right and exciting. But what is most important is, why are people behaving the way they're doing? For so many years so far, I have tried to do very small businesses, and I have also worked for so many people or some companies, but with no enough capital, like 30 millions, there's no business sustenance in our country. And so people who are not thieves have nothing to do. They live in depression, causing so many bad actions. Please, this is Katwesi J. Johnson, who...
Does it answer the problems that are causing them to go into depression? That is one thing I don't understand. And I'm also scared during the station. And he tried to have drunken operations. You know the Kaunyem?
Yes, I remember them.
But they were stopped by Parliament.
Right.
So we need that August House to be supportive.
Indeed.
And
Robert,
also, we must warn people of backyard drinking in COVID-19.
Yeah.
If you remember very well, during COVID-19.
You're right.
People would be locked inside the bars. Others would drink in the backyards. So these teams should be aware of that.
Right.
Because you were here during COVID-19. We've ever been to this situation.
And we saw quite a lot of drama on
people
there.
used to get drunk during COVID.
Right, we have to close this conversation, but let me read just one final comment. Good morning, Julie and Chirabo. I really appreciate the both of you. Now, in my own view on local government, Honorable Balaam is absolutely right. That is a universal law world over. Bars shouldn't open 24/7. Thank you. I am Yusuf. Please restrict laws. We're behind you, Wananchi, here in Nansana. That brings us to the end of this conversation today on The Real, and thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for being on the show and for following the program from whenever we start. But the conversation does continue on our X handle at UBCTV Uganda. The hashtag is UBCGMU, so make sure that you go click the follow button to follow UBC, but also comment on the conversation. We'll definitely be engaging you as the day goes by. For now, tourism and business have to come through, and of course the agenda in the aftermath. So it's a good morning, but we're still here, so stay tuned. Good morning.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
I welcome you all to Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. This is the only place in Uganda where you can see white rhinos in the wild on foot. Ziwa is found in the central region of the country, Uganda. Nakasongola, an electric fence. Though many years ago we used to have over hundreds of rhinos in Uganda, the black and white, but they were all heavily poached and killed. During the time of war, rhino was seen in Uganda. 1997, when our country, Uganda, was politically fine, it was agreed that was now the right time to bring back rhinos. Rhino Fund Uganda, a non-government organization, was formed up on behalf of the Ugandan government in partnership with Captain Joy Roy, who is the owner of this land. The area was formerly a cattle ranch. So by 2004, this area was chosen as a good feeding habitat for the white rhinos or breeding habitat. Years back later, in 2001, 2 rhinos were brought in from Kenya, Sorio Ranch, taken to Entebbe Zoo, currently known as the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, purposely to educate and raise awareness to Ugandans as well visitors about the plight of rhinos. 2004, Ziwa was identified as a special place for breeding the white rhinos, whereby an electric fence was built covering the 70 square kilometers of land. 2005, it was done. Then 4 rhinos were brought in from Kenya, 2 males and 2 females. A year later, in 2006, were joined up by a donation of 2 rhinos, all the way from Disney Animal Kingdom, Orlando Zoo, Florida, found in USA. A total of 6 rhinos settled well here in their new home. In 2009, we got our first baby rhino born. A mother coming from US, and then a father from Kenya. An international baby rhino was born. So we had to name the baby Obama. Currently, the total number is 48 white rhinos, all from the original 6. When we get up to a suitable number, we are going to start moving some of them to the second sanctuary that is going to be inside the national park, that is Machishon Falls. And later we carry on with the breeding. So splitting them apart is going to help us to avoid this case of inbreeding, because we only started with 3 males and 3 females. And out of the 3 males, each one has managed to be a father in different feathers. So soon starting to mate, to make babies, which is going to be inbreeding. So before that, we are going to split them apart, move some of them to the second sanctuary after the DNA test has been carried out. Ziwa is not only the home of white rhinos, it is also a habitat for so many wildlife. We have a group of antelopes like bushback, waterback, Uganda kob, stetunga, redback, grey common duiker. We have recently introduced in the giraffes, zebras, and Jackson hartebeests. We also have nocturnal animals like leopard, genet cat, African civet. We have leopard, jackal, we have mongoose, honey badger, and so many. with also around 340 species of birds, with a special bird called a shoebill that is not often seen everywhere. So this is all what I can say about Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. Inside Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary, if you want to track a rhino early in the morning hours, you can book a lodge. We have two separate lodges. We have Ziwa and then Amuka Lodge. So at Ziwa Lodge is found at the reception or the headquarters of the sanctuary. So when you reach here and you have made a booking, we have staffs that can actually look after you, take you to where you're supposed to be. We also have the chalets that also has a very nice view for animals, like in the evening hours. Most of the antelopes do come on the compound. So if you book at Ziwa Rhino Lodge, you'll get a good experience of seeing so many wildlife. Thank you for listening. Welcome to Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Thank you so much for keeping it with us on UBC TV. Welcome to business. Now, subsidizing heavy-duty clean cooking systems could have a multiplier effect in protecting Uganda's forest cover and environment. This is a call from the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Moses Banja, who said government intervention is needed to accelerate the transition from firewood and charcoal to cleaner cooking technologies.
For years, heavy rainfall in Kampala has been flowing through the city's drainage channels, spilling into roads and finding its way into shops and business premises. The ongoing Kampala Capital City Authority drainage construction seems to offer relief to traders who suffer losses as a result of flooding.
Go gatuyisa bubi ddala nno ebintu byaffe bingi bifudde naye tetumanyi oba omwala guno gwe basima kati gunaatuyamba kuba ebiseera ebisinga.
Unclean cooking in schools and other institutions is among the factors contributing to environmental degradation and climate change across sub-Saharan Africa. With a rapidly growing population, the situation could worsen unless urgent measures are taken.
We've seen many of our people, especially those who are employed in the schools, to do the cooking without this kind of facility. They suffer a lot, and many of them suffer with lung cancer and everything. But I believe this one comes to save our people, and it even saves the time because it's very fast according to what they've introduced to us.
The bishop says Uganda has no option but to embrace cleaner energy solutions to protect its rich flora and fauna.
When we use gas, we know we will be able to save our environment.
He made the remarks during the unveiling of an ultra-modern liquefied petroleum gas cooking facility at Buwambo Seed Secondary School in Matuga, Nasana municipality. The facility is part of Vivo Energy Uganda's institutional clean cooking initiative, which is deploying bulk LPG tanks to schools.
And this is the first school of its nature that we've launched this gas, because the government-funded schools are generally not very liquid. So we've decided to cut the cost of gas concerning the school so that we can take as many of them as we can. So we are able to penetrate government schools, but seed schools like these, which have very low income, it delights my heart to see that they're also transforming. So we are moving away from the schools that can generally afford to the schools that are looked at as if they can't afford, but they also appreciate what GAS can do for them. So for me, this is the first project of its kind.
The move is expected to improve indoor air quality, reduce pressure on forests, and support Uganda's transition to cleaner energy.
First, we were disturbed by firewood. We normally get firewood from different areas, but it has turned to be very expensive. It was too costly. But with gas, it is just a matter of coal. So the environment itself now, when you go to our powerhouse, the kitchen, you can even sleep there. The people are enjoying.
Chikos Maya and Dennis Sigowa, UBC.
This one.
Kampala Capital City Authority is stepping up efforts to address flooding in Kampala downtown area, with drainage construction works now underway in several parts of the city. The traders who have struggled with overflowing water said the initiative is timely, as floods have repeatedly disrupted their businesses, destroying property and disrupting trade.
For years, heavy rainfall in Kampala has been flowing through the city's drainage channels, spilling into roads and finding its way into shops and business premises. The ongoing Kampala Capital City Authority drainage construction seems to offer relief to traders who suffer losses as a result of flooding.
Nete tumanyi oba omwala guno gwe basima kati gunaatuyamba kuba ebiseera ebisinga amazzi agasinga otuyingirira gava waggulu eyo ne gajja ne gabula ekkubo erigatwala olw'obwala obutini.
Kitukoze bulungi ku mwala guno gwe basima okuva ku mini price Timukoka abadde ajja mungi nnyo n'ayingira emaali y'abasuubuzi era mujjukerako emabega kaawo amazzi gatta emaali y'abasuubuzi. Naffe we tuba nti bakola emyala gino emaali y'abasuubuzi obutafa tukisanyukira kirungi.
The works target improving the drainage system and providing water passage for stormwater whenever it rains. Traders allege that when the drainage system is overwhelmed, water spreads out into business premises, damaging merchandise and forcing them to close shops.
When rainfall comes, it enters in our shop, in our goods, each and everything be destroyed. But now going to join the natural stretch there to the harm which he built. We have a hope that that water will be going there.
We face a lot of challenges. For example, the roads. You find that there is too much flooding, and this affects the market vendors, the travelers, and also people in the country. But according to what we are seeing on ground, I see they are trying to open new channels.
KCCA Downtown Drainage Works is part of the efforts to improve stormwater management.
Now, government is advancing the digital transformation agenda across all ministries, departments, and agencies to integrate ICT systems and preparing institutions for the responsible adoption of artificial intelligence. The emphasis was made during the quarterly meeting of ICT officers, where officials revealed and reviewed progress and challenges in advancing the government's digital transformation agenda. Let's take a look at this.
About 350 processes.
During the quarterly meeting of ICT officers, Ambrose Ryoka, head of research at the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, highlighted efforts to consolidate government ICT systems and strengthen digital transformation. Ryoka says government has identified more than 700 ICT systems developed by different ministries, departments and agencies, with efforts now underway to integrate them and reduce duplication.
We have processes now, we have systems and processes. So over 700 systems, they're actually addressing only about 350 processes. So the other ones are all duplications that we are now trying to eliminate. And even these processes, they are not fully automated. So if you find the process is partially automated, I will give an example, like a recruitment system in one of the recruiting agencies for government. So they will say, apply online, but when it comes to interview, it is physical. When it comes to some other documents, they still need to do the physical. So it is still having paperless and paper. So paper is needed completely out of the picture. So we are saying for fully automated systems, you want a paperless.
Government officials noted that integration is intended to enable government systems to communicate and share data, improving efficiency and service delivery across institutions. They pointed to the need to automate processes that remain partly manual, where citizens may begin accessing service online but are still required to present physical documents before completion.
We have processes now, we have systems and processes. So over 700 systems, they're actually addressing only about 350 processes. So the other ones are all duplications that we are now trying to eliminate. And even these processes, they are not fully automated. So if you find the process is partially automated, I will give an example, like a recruitment system in one of the recruiting agencies for government. I don't have to move from Moroto to come to the Public Service Commission, sit for an interview for being the deputy cow. I can remain there, do my interview, and then get selected. So that's what I'm talking about, having systems that are fully automated. So of the systems we have within the government, over 700, half of those are, the processes are half of those, and all these are not fully automated. So our aim is to have all these fully automated.
They say Uganda's AI strategy is anchored on infrastructure, data, standards, governance, research and innovation, with applications targeting 14 priority sectors, including agriculture, health, tourism, mining, banking and the judiciary. Here, ICT officers have a critical role in ensuring that digital systems are coordinated, interoperable, and aligned with national and internationally accepted standards as Uganda advances its digital transformation agenda.
An artificial intelligence governance framework. You may recall that 2 years ago, Cabinet directed the Minister of ICT to develop a national artificial intelligence governance framework, and we have since done a few things. We did a landscape study on how AI is currently being used and deployed in Uganda.
We have to strengthen our IT departments or units or sections to be able to exert that role. That you are in charge of your systems in your ministry, department or agency. We need to update our skills so that we will go to the game.
ICT officers reaffirmed their commitment to working hard and taking greater responsibility in driving government's digital transformation agenda.
Let us start to invest in ourselves. Investments in IT are expensive. Even skilling is expensive. But for you to remain relevant, we need to skill ourselves. We are privileged that as IT officers, we are in the category of science. So our salaries have been enhanced, but let us also enhance our value by skilling ourselves.
Let's end the stories at that and move to the Forex as of yesterday, where the United States dollar was buying at 3,717.24 and selling at 3,727.24. The Great Britain pound was at 5,020.50 and selling at 5,035.12. The euro was at 4,288.57 and selling at 4,300.48. The Kenyan shilling was at 28.71 and selling at 28.83. The Tanzanian shilling was at 1.39 and selling at 1.41. The Rwanda currency was buying at 2.52 and selling at 2.54. Well, in case you're ready with any of the currencies and you want to exchange your money and know what you get, that is what was as of yesterday. So with that, we come to the end of our business segment, but Julie Nantaba, she's ready to take us through the agenda. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.